Okay, project update, front suspension removal. After watching some of the other guys on YouTube regarding spring compression and removal, the consensus is using a couple of these bolts and then using a socket as a spacer underneath the spring pan, and then we use that to lower down the thread and take the pressure out of the spring. We'll drop that down, but first of all we're going to go through, take the chockies out, undo a lot of the supporting structures, get in, take out unbolt the idler box over there. The challenge for us will be how we disconnect the Berman steering box as we do that. So in essence, not an overly complicated job, but a little bit of work involved. So hopefully the update later this afternoon will be showing you the front end on the car completely removed, and then at that stage we'll have a car that has the rear out, the front out, and then the next phase is removing the windows, headliner, and we're pretty much ready to work on the shell. So I guess we better start on this front end, and we'll upload the results at the back end of this afternoon. Okay, we're ready to start taking the spring pan, releasing the tension out of the spring. Now, without a spring compressor, one of the solutions that we found online, which works nicely, is as I showed you before, the galvanised bolt that you can get from your local hardware store, Bunnings here in Australia, and then putting a couple of the long sockets on the end for spacers, and then what we do is we tighten them up, take one out at a time, replace it, take the tension, and then what we'll do is we will remove each one of these. We'll take that one out, and then we'll remove this one over here, and then we'll slowly take each one of these down, and we've got the floor jack sitting underneath here, which will take the pressure. One of the things that you have got to be careful of when you do this is that as the spring tension comes off, it may lift the car, and especially if you've got it on jacks or a hoist, it could destabilize the car. So as we do this, we'll start to lower the floor jack to take the stored energy out, and the spring pan and spring should release nice and gently and safely, more importantly. So let's see how this goes. Okay, front end out, as you can see, taken us a couple of hours. Also got the steering column out, completely removed all the steering rack, all the gear. Brake lines still remain to be taken out. Needed to get some pullers to break some of the steering rack apart, and back to some of the steering rack in fairly reasonable condition. Coney red shock absorbers, they are buggered. We'll need some more of those. Berman steering box is out. We'll have a look at that, probably rebuild that as well while it's out.